All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Senior Week at Elizabethton High School for your coach Shawn Witten show tonight. I'm Stacy Street along with my partner Tony Briggs and the head football coach of your Elizabethton Cyclones, Coach Shawn Witten. Coach Witten, felt real good to get back on the field last week, I'm sure, and just a all-around great game for the Cyclones last week against the Granger Grizzlies.
Yeah, real proud of our guys, the way we came out and played, had a lot of energy. Good to see a number of guys really step up and make a lot of plays, and just really excited to see our guys go perform and do the things that we've worked really hard to do over the course of a lot of days, and go out there and just kind of turn it loose.
And we really appreciate you coming up and talking to us after the game. And every week when you do that, we really appreciate it. Now that you've had most of the week and the weekend to kind of look at your film and digest it, I guess a couple of things that really stood out to me was the special teams, but also the defense. They were really flying all around that field.
Well, we worked really hard on our schemes to get guys in position to make a lot of great plays. But anytime you play a team like Granger, it was good to see us be in run fit positions, but then also be in our pass coverages. And couldn't start off the game better by one of our leaders, Justice. Just tremendous job getting off to a great start. I mean, he's a guy that he's a leader on both sides, made a lot of plays. We called his name out a lot on Friday night, just in a lot of areas. But it's just great to see. It's a contagious. Once Justice made that play and got off to a great start, then it followed by Roland, then it followed by a number of other guys, but several tackle for losses. It's good to see our guys adjust to different style of football each and every week defensively. Billy Woodby and Landry Buckles did a great job of setting the edge. We played a little bit of a 5-3 defense. We put a safety in the box down. We kind of played a little bit of man-to-man coverage on the outside. So we're working to installing different responsibilities for guys, and I thought that they did a great job of going out there and focus and execute.
And when you go to a 5 scheme like that, it's got its advantages and disadvantages, but one of them, when you face a running team like that, you really get that guy about 4 yards closer to the line. As long as they're fast enough to read, it really gives you what you want with the 5 as another defender in the box.
Well, the other thing it does, Stacy, is it creates matchups, on the interior guys. And when you got 5 defensive linemen, and you're setting the edge as good as we did as outside linebackers walking up and framing the wing backs, it becomes single blocks. There's less double teams on the inside, and then it frees up guys to kind of get down the line and play line scrimmage. And when you get smaller defensive ends or faster defensive ends, Kyron Smalls had a big day that stepped in for Ben. Rainwater's kind of tough to block on the inside. And then, kind of thought Justice did a really good job of, we're trying to work with him after a season under his belt at linebacker, finding those gaps when you see it, kind of shoot through. He did several good of those early in the first quarter. And then, it's good to see our secondary guys not fall asleep there, but it does create problems because you have a hard time in getting to those linebackers, and I thought our guys did a good job. I thought Riley Jones had a great game as well. Colin McGovern had a great job at defensive end. But, the same thing too is we've got a number of new guys in there. That's kind of their first time of having some success. Things going their way, and you saw what happens is once it starts going in your direction, it builds that momentum, and a lot of guys stepped up and had great games.
2 things, and I'll turn it over to Tony. The first is I want to pick up on what you just said. Year before last, Tony and I said it time and time again, this team just needs a little confidence.
Right.
They need a little confidence. And you kind of felt that a little bit after the Science Hill game. And last week gave these young guys a big dose of that confidence.
Well, it did. A number of guys stepped up, made plays on special teams, and then defensively, it was just good to see us in different schemes, and kind of make some plays there. And then it was also good to see us score on special teams, score on defense, and then you just kind of, Zach got an interception, Justin had another great interception, was able to run it back for a touchdown. But it's just good to see, a guy like Ben Adams that, is an X factor for us. He was out of the game. Now it's opportunity for other guys to step up and make plays. And then I thought, Landry, he's the best he's been, and getting him in a position where he can make a lot of plays. He is so athletic on the line of scrimmage, at the linebacker position. You know, and it was good to see him kind of make a lot of plays. I thought we showed some toughness at times. I thought we flied around, made a lot of plays, and then it's always good when you can get some tackles for losses.
And the last thing, and I'll turn it over to Tony, and you just mentioned it. You talked about players getting experience at new positions, and Tony and I talk about that a lot. One kid I want to talk about is Whitehead, Justin Whitehead. You got a kid here who we've seen him at quarterback. He can sling the ball.
Yeah.
He's a real athlete. And rather than say, I'm going to play quarterback or nothing, he played some receiver. You got him on special teams. You got him back there at defensive back. And that's the kind of kid that really, you keep talking about somebody got to step up. He really stepped up Friday night.
Well, we used the word unsung heroes in the past, but you know, a guy like Justin really sums up what it means to really be a Cyclone football player. Just early in the year, he was playing corner and safety. He's playing inside slot receiver, outside slot receiver. Friday night we ran a jet sweep with him. Made it look like it was going nowhere.
Right.
He cut it up and not a flood plays, but he's got a knack of finding the end zone, making great catches. You know, we missed him a couple times offensively, but the ability to line him up. You know, we got several other things going to go his way here in the next couple of weeks, but you know, just from the schematic standpoint, he showed some speed. He showed I thought him and Zach did a great job of returning the punts, get field position. So I mean, we've got some guys step up. We just need more opportunities to get out there and play. And it really doesn't matter who it's against. It's just we need live reps, live plays. And I thought that I think we got several guys like Justin that are ready to step up and show what they can do. Just, you know, he does a great job of holding, and he's such a team player. He does a great job blocking on the edge. And, you know, we've tried to get those receivers to really be involved in the run game as well, and I think they've done a great job of that.
You know, you speaking of Zach Walden, you watched the Science Hill game, he looked a little bit apprehensive, looked a little bit unsure. He come out, he caught a touchdown pass, had another pick. It seemed like he got his confidence back that he had last year in the DB game where he had those two. It looked like he was getting his feet.
Well, Zach played such a vital role for us a year ago. A lot of those guys did. You know, Zach started 12 games at safety, you know, and then you get like kids like Roland that started 12 games at safety. But Zach, a part of him, I kept telling him all the way through the preseason, Zach was in great position. He just wasn't making the plays. And I think now you're starting to see that, you know, just by repetition and building that confidence, you know, now he's starting making the play. You just kind of one play, you know, it clicks for him and you kind of go there. So, you know, I'm really super proud of him that he's continued to take the coaching and continue to work to get better. And we need Zach to really step up and be a good. You know, Zach's just a junior. He's got a lot of football ahead of him. He can make a lot of plays, make some tough catches. I think he's got, like Justin, he's got some more opportunities that he can make. You know, just he's our safety that's played, you know, 16 games now, you know, at safety. So he's got a lot of experience, you know, back there. And so those guys did a great job. So I'm really happy with the progress that Zach's made, and just, you know, we just need him to continue to play well.
And, you know, you throw in Jack Levis, you know, Jack caught some slants across the middle. He caught some passes that Stacy referred to as when in 19 and 20 was Z19 type of routes. That was good to see him step up. I mean, he took one, got hit in the backfield, and just kept driving his feet. Determination, he scored on it.
Well, I think, you know, the biggest always thing with Jack is not the ability to do it. It's just, you know, does he have the toughness, you know, to catch the ball across the middle. He showed that. You know, the slant route he caught, the flat route he caught, the corner broke on it, and then obviously the quick screen that he caught for a touchdown. You know, he wheeled himself into the end zone. So it's good to see those guys step up and make plays. And there's no doubt that we got the talent and the ability to do it. You know, we just got to go out there and perform. So, you know, a little bit of confidence and a little bit of momentum, you know, kind of stepped up and kind of made it contagious Friday. But, I mean, we got a number of those guys that their number is going to be called, and it was cool to see. You know, Roland was a big-time guy for us, too, last year, corner. You know, he's still probably our best corner, but we need him to come over and make some plays. So it's a little bit of a different role for a lot of those guys. But, you know, just really proud that, you know, the thing about it is the knack of making the plays, but then showing the toughness, too. You know, Jack could have easily caught the ball and went down on those plays, but, you know, the slant across the middle is what I've been preaching to him. You got to be able to make those catches across the middle to be a slot receiver.
A couple other things before we wrap up this first segment. Go on the special team side. It felt kind of good. I know it did on your part, but it looked good up there. That we've got the ability to where we can kick the ball into the end zone, or you can pooch kick it, or you can pin it inside the one with not only one kicker, but also both kickers.
Well, I tell you, opening the game off with a touchback, I mean, that's unbelievable. And then seeing our kickoff team run through the end zone was pretty cool. And then even when we pushed it, we still tackled them inside the 20-yard line a couple times. But, we played with some opportunities there to, get some stuff on film. And then, we tried to give Caleb a couple kicks there, and it was cool to see Will, to have that ability to kick the ball at the end zone as well. So, Will got really excited when he did that. I mean, that's pretty cool,
You did too.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it's pretty cool to have that. I mean, it's a great opportunity. Those are great weapons. Of course, Caleb's a great punter, but we want him on punt Friday night regardless. But he just does a great job, and then, so just really proud of those guys too, of how they're working together and doing what's best for the team. And I'm sure, we tried to pooch kick it 3 times. I'm sure Caleb would add a couple more touchbacks, but good opportunities for our other guys to get live reps.
And anytime you're forcing them to go at least 80 yards or more, it's hard on it. It's hard because they got to get at least, realistically, 2 first downs just to flip the field.
Well, I think too, moving forward, Tony, when you watch film, we can be a really tough team to defend because what we're putting on film, it can be a lot of different things. If special teams work, you got to be, in order to beat us, you're going to have to be better at us on special teams, and the field position becomes critical. With some big games are coming up, that's going to be vital. And then you saw, just us be able to catch the ball on the punt returns and not let it roll saves us, multiple first downs where we get better field position as well. So just, we tried to work hard on our red zone offense and work hard on once we get the ball across the field 50 to still be aggressive. And you saw that when we tried to take a couple shots, whether we execute it or not, we have that ability. So I think, the things are going in our direction now. We just got to keep practicing hard, keep working. And I think our guys are anxious to continue to get out on the field and show what they can do.
Final question on this first segment. Notice when we come in, me and Stacy was talking before we come in, I said, I'd like to see Rhett run the ball more. I said, I think more when Rhett runs the ball and he gets hit, Rhett calms down.
Well, we ran
something that you're looking possibly, not Bryson Rollins per se, but some more automatic, some more called Q runs?
Well, we've had I spent some periods with Coach Hurley and then some periods with Coach Russell, really try to get him to get some experience, get him some confidence running the ball, which we used to run the ball with Corey a lot, and kind of the same Q runs. But we try to open up the game, and we try to pull some centers and guards out in front of him, lead him with Jay Bird, and then I thought he got really excited when he scored that touchdown and got up, kind of spiked the ball. But Rhett has the ability to do that. He's done it his whole life. He did a lot of it for middle school ball, and he's got and Rhett's a pretty thick guy, and he can do that. He can make us better when he does it, and we tried to run him those first 2 plays to really get him involved. I thought it really helped him in the first half. So it's just we're still a work in progress, and I think that some of those things that we're still wanting to see, and I think that can be a huge weapon for us later on this season.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the first segment of the Coach Shawn Witten Show. When we come back after these words, we'll preview tonight's contest as the Cherokee Chiefs come to town to play your Elizabethton Cyclones. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Coach Shawn Witten Show. Coach, Cherokee comes in after a shutout loss to Greenville. They come in 2-0, but then Greenville put a stop to it. Cherokee looks like we went against them 7-on-7. They're not a down the field type of orient or offense. They're more of a dink and dunk type of offense. Is that what we plan on seeing a lot of tonight?
Well, I think Cherokee's much improved football team than a year ago. They are well coached and have good schemes. It's another opportunity for our defense to play against a spread set team. They're led by their quarterback. The quarterback's a really good player. He's got a really quick release. He runs the ball extremely well at times too. They're a lot of identical to us as far as their schemes and run game and the things that we want to do and the things that we've been in the past. But we got the ability tonight to show that they're going to throw that ball in the air. They're going to throw it quick. We're going to have to converge and tackle pretty good in space. I think that they do a good job in the run-pass option game as well. They try to keep you off balance with some Q runs. So I think it's a much improved football team. They did a lot of good things against Greenville a week ago. They beat Crockett when they were down, come back and win, scored 36 points. So I think we got a tough matchup tonight, and I think it's going to be an opportunity for us to get better in this football game.
You know, we sit there and we watch film, and it seemed like they're bringing a linebacker at every play. You just don't know which one's coming. How do you go forward as a play caller? How do you go forward tonight in tonight's game as far as what you want to set the tempo?
Well, I think the hardest part is that you kind of go, I call them a kamikaze defense. They kind of come from everywhere. I don't know if they know where they come from sometimes, but they're kind of moving all over the place. I think the biggest thing for us is, you know, we've got to be able to kind of make sure that we can run the ball, you know, try to get Red some high percentage throws, get the ball out quick. We don't want him holding on to the ball, you know, to allow them to be able to twist and slant and bring a guy that, you know, we kind of let somebody slip through. So I think we've got to do a great job of that. And I think we also got to show that we can get the ball outside. I think it was an emphasis for us last week of trying to make sure that we can get the ball on the edges and not so much inside a little bit where they can kind of barricade us in and, you know, not let us get outside. So I think a little bit of kind of keeping them off balance of, you know, making sure that we can get the ball outside and get the ball out in space where I think we got some opportunities to maybe take advantage of. They are pretty tough. They are pretty physical inside. Like you said, they like to bring a lot of pressure, but I think that if we can execute outside on the edges and get that ball out in space, we got the opportunity to make some plays.
What do you want to see offensively? What is the one thing that you say, I want to see X?
Well, I want to see us. We're not going to be a big strike offensive football team. It reminds me a lot of the 2021 team. Like, I want to maximize every play, execution, sustain the football. You know, we may not score in one or two plays. We may score 7 or 8 plays. I want to see us execute. You know, get multiple first downs, drive the ball length of the field, and then, you know, what you get out of that is as long as we got the ball and we're executing our offense, they're over there on the side. And I think that's what we got to become as we hit this stretch right here. Is we got to be a time of possession, maximizing reps. You know, at the end of the game, you know, we want to have 68 offensive plays to their, you know, 40 offensive plays, and I think that we have the ability to do that because we got multiple tight ends, multiple H-backs, multiple running backs that we can counter with the things that people want to do with us defensively.
The last question before I turn it over to Stacy. Senior night, you've got 11 seniors. You've got 10 that's been with you, biggest majority of their 4-year career. Just speak overall about this group of seniors.
Well, just a resilient group. You know, our motto this year has been, you know, toughness, grit, resilient. I think this group's been, you know, super resilient. They're kind of that COVID group. And I think a lot of those guys have stuck with it. They've played their role. They've been the unsung hero. Now they have an opportunity to be out in front. A lot of those guys reminds us of 2019. They're kind of in those unsung hero positions. You know, Ben Adams, you know, Kyron Smalls, you know, Kodak had a first start last week at the guard position. You know, I just think that, you know, Big J, you know, just being a part of the program, persevering, being resilient, showing up every day. Landon Hughes, you know, we've known him as a defensive tackle, now he's a two-way starter. You know, just having that grit and toughness, and I think he's done a great job of, you know, his first 2 starts. You know, I don't think those guys have given up many sacks or many hurries. And that's big, you know. I mean, run blocking is one thing, protecting the quarterback, you know, it becomes different. So just being able to sustain that. Roland's been a great figure for us, being a leader by example, you know, just big there. And I think Landry Buckles, you know, just came on strong a year ago. We know his athleticism, started him out of H-back being this year. Now he's, you know, probably the fastest guy on our team now. So we were trying to get him the ball a little bit more there, but man, he showed some grit and some resilience and toughness there. And then, you know, Caleb Campbell, I love this guy. I think he's just been a quiet worker. He's gotten better. He's gotten stronger. Those things that we wanted to see a year ago, he's answered those questions right now. I mean, he putted that ball, you know, deep last week, you know, to get Science Hill. He's done a great job this week. I think those are going to be big-time weapons for us. And then the ability to have 2 kickers versus 1, you know, now you're staying a little bit more fresh. The roles are identified. So just extremely proud of a lot of those guys, and you know, just super. AJ Campbell, you know, just joined us. You know, trying to find ways to get on the field. Our corners' times are coming.
Yeah.
We're playing these run football teams. Their time's coming. We're going to play that team that's going to throw the ball more in one game than they will all season. So their time's coming. And so just super proud of a number of guys. Seth Campbell, man, I'm so proud of Seth. 3 years starting at right tackle. Just so proud of his consistency and to see him get out there and play defense. He just brings that consistency each and every day.
Just ask you a couple of questions. We probably should end with the seniors,
Yeah.
how good they are. I want to ask you one thing though. You got a brother that's going to go to the Hall of Fame, Pro Football
Yeah.
Hall of Fame, by being able to catch those quick passes. And a tight end, whether it's in the middle or in the flats, is an offensive's best friend when you've got blitzing defenses. We've got all these tight ends. Are we going to see them more involved?
Yeah, we hope to, and we've worked it. We had a bad miss. We got to focus a little bit more on the execution part. We've got a lot of plays that we're trying to involve. We try to do a shovel pass to Kyron. We tried to get him out to the flat on a couple of bootlegs to try to get Red out there. He missed that one. We tried to do a little tight end, a little half roll, throw it back. It wasn't greatly executed, And we're a work in progress still in a lot of those ways. We still had to call 2 timeouts in the second quarter to make sure we're properly lined up. The thing about it is, in the past, we've kind of had a handful of people that kind of rotated in those skill positions on offense. Now, we've got 4 or 5 H-backs, and then they're all the same tight ends, and we've got 4 or 5 running backs. So we're trying to operate with 12 people, from tight end to receivers to, we've got this personnel grouping, and then we got these guys going in. We're trying to stay fresh at the same time, just to keep, just to keep us fresh as much as possible. But at the same time, when they go in, they got to be able to execute. And I think too, a number of those guys play both ways, and so making those plays in practice is one thing. Making those plays when you're tired and fatigued.
Right.
In the game is different. I think we've got to do a better job. But yes, they can be a big time factor for us. And their athleticism, all those guys can play big roles for us moving forward.
Coach, thank you very
Yes,
much.
sir. Thank you.
We look forward tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the Coach Shawn Witten Show here on Senior Night at Citizens Bank Stadium as your Elizabethton Cyclones host the Cherokee Chiefs. Tony and I will have your pregame after these words from our sponsors here on 107.9 The Bridge.